congratulations to the people that did get honorable mentions and placed. We have a small gift for you as a prize. It is a gift certificate for art supplies. So hopefully you take that further and continue working in the mediums that you love. Okay, so I'll announce the winners. I'm hoping everybody's looked around. We put the honorable mentions and the ones that have placed up already with their medals, so everyone should know already, but let's give them a round of applause anyway. So first place in, let's do three-dimensional first. Helen Townsend won first place from Weston High. She's not here. She was here earlier, but she had another engagement, so she had to leave a little early. So congratulations to Helen. She did the cat that's in the other room on the mantle. Gorgeous, gorgeous piece. I loved that piece. That was wonderful. Second place is Ashley Martin. I don't know, is Ashley here by any chance? I'm not sure if she is. She did the wonderful little metalwork gecko that's in the other room as well. So let's give Ashley a round of applause. And third place is Javier Lopez. Is Javier here by any chance? No, I didn't think so. I saw him the other day. He had three pieces that got into so wonderful, wonderful work. That fits orbital. It's very sort of a Jeff Koons-esque sort of balloon design that's in the other room that I thought was really wonderful. So I was happy that placed as well. So let's give Javier a round of applause. Okay, and so on to the two-dimensional. Our first place winner, which is the piece that's right behind you there. Wonderful drawing and some great color, is Abby Warwick, who is right here. So, this is for you. I hope you use it to get some good art supplies and keep at it. You'll get the medal and your tag and everything when you come to pick up the artwork later in the week. But I'd like to leave it up, so it's okay with you. Second place is Lucas Held, who's this wonderful photograph that's over here. Is Lucas still here? Oh, there he is. Yeah, excellent. Congratulations. Wonderful piece. I love the sort of the negative space behind him. It has this very dark feel. Great work. And third place is Erin Barry from Wellesley. Is Erin here by any chance? No? It's this wonderful pastel behind you, that very sort of Maurice Sendak influenced, great sort of personality in that monster's face. So I love seeing work like that. I'm a big fan of illustration. And so that one, I was very happy to see that one score well. And it's just got a real charm to it. So she's not here, but let's give Erin a round of applause. Okay, enough from us. Thank you all for coming. Please eat, drink, enjoy the show. It's up until Thursday? Thursday. It's up until Thursday, so if you want to come back through with family or anything else, please do. Bring them all in. So, all right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It was for an anatomy class at my school. There's like an IDS course which combines arts and sciences, and I took it because I've been doing a lot of figure drawings in the past for preparation for my portfolio. And so the end of the trimester, we got the chance to have a model come in, and I wanted to do something like, I'd done a lot of figure drawings, which was just like newsprint, which was like Conte crayon on paper. It was kind of like a brown or a black or an orange, and I wanted to do something with like a lot of color and a lot of, that would really stick out.
Are you planning on a career in art, or is this just a sideline?
I am, actually. I just got accepted into art school, so I'll be pursuing animation in the future.
So my artwork I did at school, it's a ballerina that I used liquid graphite to make, and so I chose my title at Strong because I think that today, like, the ballerinas, they're so pretty, they're so strong, and I chose like to do the at symbol at the beginning because art class, at least during school, is a time that we all like put our computers away and all of the social media is just kind of shut off, and so that's kind of fun during the day, and I want to incorporate that into this because ballerinas also, the social media is off, they have that time, that everything.
So is this from a model, or is it from your mind?
Yeah, it's from a model. She came in, a ballerina.
So a bunch of students were doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yes.
You're the one.
Yes.
Well, this piece of work is titled The Human Form. I was on a trip to New York when I entered a Talbot's warehouse and found a whole bunch of mannequins set up in the room, and the lighting was just perfect because it's a fashion warehouse. And I began to take my photo and saw immediately what it had the potential to be. My father raised me on a lot of science fiction movies and literature, so when I saw it, it reminded me of what our future could look like with robots. So I was questioning what the human body looks like, so I overlaid muscles, and to me, in my head, this looked like some of the science fiction robots I had seen, but to many others, it's just a depiction of maybe the unrealistic body standards in the media, or how they see themselves.
Okay, so it's Mary. Mary,
Yes.
tell me about your pumpkins.
So I did these pumpkins during the fall. I was feeling pretty festive at the time. It's all watercolor, and there's a few dots, if you can see. They're just marker. So I used that for the highlight effect. And I did a few other pumpkin studies. One other was watercolor as well, and I did some in charcoal. I just think the pumpkins were interesting to draw, so I mean, that was my final product.
Well, it's remarkably realistic. Do you favor sort of more realistic artwork?
Yeah, I do.
Talk about that. Why do you do that?
I don't know. All the art that I do usually tends to be more realistic, so I think as an artist, like, I favor the more realistic art. But I also have a collage over there that was me trying to stray away from the more realism towards the abstract because it's a collage. But yeah. So this piece is called Here Comes the Sun, and it was inspired by the Beatles song Here Comes the Sun. So it's basically two people in the foreground that I did in pen, and then the background is supposed to be like the sunrise, like Here Comes the Sun. And I used magazines that I cut up and ripped, and then some metallic paper that we had in the art room. And I've never really done much like that. And the foreground is also acrylic paint with the hills. But yeah.
Beautiful job.
Thank you.
So this is a photo taken in Central Square in Cambridge, and I was working in a photography program, and the goal of the program was to kind of approach people, talk to them, learn about who they are, and then approach them to photograph them. So this is someone that we spoke to. I just really love the image.
So I assume you took a lot of pictures of a lot of different people?
Yeah.
And why did you choose this one?
I think one, like, on a more personal level between the photographer and the person, it was a very interesting story and a very compelling experience. But then also the image to me was just stood out, a lot of detail and kind of the jacket, and I love the contrast.
So this is a portrait I took of my sister Matilda. It's called Enlightened, and I was shooting a project that was all about sort of light and how light interacts with people, and so I had my sister sit in front of these blinds and had light sort of come through the window, and I wanted to just frame up her eyes so that she sort of was in line with the light that was being cast on her and the shadows and yeah.
So are you thinking about going into photography, or is this just a side thing?
Photography is definitely one of my biggest sort of passions, photography and videography. I don't know about going into it, but it's definitely one of my favorite things to do, film photography and video, and yeah.
Do you have any particular influences?
This isn't really, yeah, so I guess some of my influences, some of my favorite photographers are Henry Cartier-Bresson, Elliot Erwitt, who don't really shoot this type of style, but a lot of what I shoot is street photography, so out in the city, portraits of strangers and stuff, which isn't this, but that's I get that a lot from from Henry Cartier-Bresson and Elliot Erwitt. They're some of my favorite photographers.
Yes, definitely.
Is that your inspiration?
Yeah, so we go to Maine during the summer, and there's like a little donut shop in our town, and so we love to go there in the mornings. And then one of those times, we got a bunch of different colors and stacked them up, and then I painted them for fun.
It's a very nice sense of texture to it. It reminds you very much of what the flavoring and stuff.
Yeah, I use a lot of palette knife with acrylic to like keep the paint thick, and I think it gives us some texture.
And is a lot of your stuff very painterly? Is it like this?
Yeah, I do a lot with like mark making and like thick paint, and like I try to use a lot of bright color and stuff.
Who are your influences?
My grandma, she was the first one to get me into painting when I was little. She taught me how to paint, and so she's always been my idol.
So I started out making this, and I wanted it just to be a simple vase. But I didn't really like the shape of it, so I started just like messing around with it and just like poking holes in it, and then it kind of turned into this. Before I glazed it, I didn't love it at all. I actually hated it. But then after I glazed it, it's now like my favorite piece. So.
Do the holes have a meaning, or?
Well, the title has to do with it, so I don't really know how to pronounce it. Trypophobia is the fear of small holes. So me and my friend came up with it. So yeah.
So you're conquering your fears by making this.
Yeah. Not a lot of people like it because of the holes.
So you tested it with flowers?
Yeah, it works as long as the water's not past the holes. But yeah.
And are you going to pursue more ceramics in the future?
Yeah, I plan on doing it in college too, and maybe opening a business someday. I love it, so.